Howdy, howdy. Welcome on into the pre-show before the free show. How's your morning going? What have you done this morning? Curious.
Me?
Yeah.
Well,
What have you done this
I
morning? What's your morning routine?
My morning routine is whatever my kids say my morning routine is.
Yeah,
To
that's
say
fair.
that there's a
That's fair.
routine is generous.
That's fair.
You know, it kind of depends on when they wake up, which is normally like sometime between 6 and 7.
Okay.
And then
That's early.
yeah.
You're
Let me
telling
just tell
me.
you, I don't know if kids are in your future. I don't need to know. That's fine. That's your business. I will just tell you that if kids show up, your days of sleeping in have ended.
Go.
It's over.
Right.
Like Sunday is Father's Day. Sunday is
Yeah.
Father's Day. Okay?
Subscribe.
I might get to sleep until 9.
Yeah.
That would be like, but it
Very
honestly, but it won't
generous.
happen.
Yeah.
It won't happen because Max will cry on the monitor until I'll
Uh-huh.
hear him. He'll wake me up. Or like Hank will run into the room and wake me up.
Mhm.
Like there's just, yeah.
Yeah.
The days of sleeping in are done.
Yeah. I have a very specific morning routine.
I know you do.
Very
you wake up at
specific.
3:30 in the morning.
I don't wake up
and
at 3:30 in the morning. I
go
don't wake up.
lift.
No, I don't do that. Well, today I was saying that because today my morning routine was kind of thrown off a bit because I had to go to the dentist at
Ooh.
8 in the morning,
How'd that
which is
go?
about the only time my teeth really hurt. So I've got some.
Do your teeth hurt or your gums hurt?
I think it's my gums
Mhm.
mostly,
Do you
but
floss?
yes,
If you ever
I
need,
don't
okay,
floss.
so let me
I
tell
need
you,
to. I've been better at it actually.
the game changer. And now, so for those who don't know, Mallory changed roles here with the company.
Yeah.
She is now the associate producer of Dave Campbell's Texas Football and Texan
Stuff.
Live, which is rad. Because now you work kind of on the operations side. Now we have clawed you over
Yes.
into the editorial side.
Mhm.
Okay. So now you and I sit next to each other?
Basically, yeah.
Basically. Like,
With
there's
a barrier.
There's a barrier, so like we're not looking at each other. But like, thank God, am I right?
Oh, I wish.
Um,
What if it was like a window? Just tap on the glass. Tepper, it's time for the show.
Yeah, I hate that idea. But anyway,
like it.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to shoot you down like that.
You do it all the time. I'm used to it.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, so, but now we're sitting next to each other,
Yeah.
right? Let me tell you, and I have not had somebody sit next to there that's been kind of an open desk that like Powers and Step use whenever they come into the office, right? It's been kind of, and now you're permanent there.
Has anyone ever been full time and sat right there
No, this
besides
is
me?
This is the biggest
first time.
editorial staff we've ever had by a
That's
by
true.
a large
That's true.
by a large margin,
Okay.
basically.
Yeah.
Anyway, all of that is to say, the game changer for me, because I was not. Are you cold?
Yes. I'm wearing a blanket. I don't know if you can see it, but I have long sleeves on. I have long pants on and a blanket. We have to keep the studio cold, especially in the summer, right? Because
Sure.
there's big windows in here and it gets hot, so we got to. But yeah, that's
Let me finish my point.
okay.
My point is,
Off topic.
if
Squirrel.
the thing that was the game changer for me, because I was terrible about flossing too.
Yeah.
The game changer for me, I bought those little like picks.
It's so much easier with those, isn't it?
Okay, it's so much easier, and this is gross. I'll just sit at my desk and just like.
I think I've seen you do that before.
I'm just like
digging
going
in there,
away, digging in there,
Going
stuff
to town.
like that. Yeah, exactly right.
Yeah, I need
it's
to
something
start
you can
flossing.
do without thinking about,
Uh-huh.
and because that's the thing. If you have to make it an event, you're never gonna do it.
No.
Um,
I've got the string floss because they give you a packet of that string floss
Of
when
course.
I get a whole little packet when I go to the dentist. It has a toothbrush,
wow.
toothpaste. It's got a card that says when my next visit is,
Are
and
you-
I get chapstick.
Are you good about going to the dentist?
I'm very good about going to the dentist. I love going to
Okey-dokey.
the dentist. That's
That makes-
why.
Wow, that's
So
that's
just
weird.
because I love getting my teeth cleaned.
that
They're white.
yeah, that's.
But I don't.
I don't like
yeah,
the
so-
dentist. I don't like the dentist. I haven't been in probably too long. My mom's probably watching and gonna yell at me. But
yeah. Well, I
um,
also found out today that I'm not on my parents' dental insurance anymore, so had to pay
Okay.
that baby out of pocket.
we got pretty good dental insurance.
Yeah,
here.
I know. I just haven't signed up for it because I've just been on my parents the whole time. So
Ooh,
that's kind of on
that's
my
a killer.
bad.
That's
kind of on
you.
my bad.
That's on you.
So,
We have good dental
yeah.
insurance here.
But yeah, you do.
No, I have a checkered history with dentists.
Mhm.
I think I've said this before. These 3 front teeth are fake.
Really? I didn't know
these
that.
These are they're fake.
How did you get it chipped or what happened?
in 2012. Yeah, we were engaged because my wife almost killed me.
Nice.
In 2012,
No way.
I passed out at the gym and went face first into a sink and woke up.
Oh my
and
gosh.
had broken these 3 teeth. And so
What?
I got to spend a lot of time in a dentist chair doing
Yeah.
the most painful things.
Yeah.
And yeah, just not a huge fan anymore. Like,
Yeah.
just kind of.
You're kind of scarred, I guess.
Kind of had my fill of dentists. I know I need to go.
Yeah.
I know
So,
it is.
have you ever had braces before,
did
or
have
like an
braces.
expander? I had an expander, the thing that goes on the top of your mouth, and you have to tighten it with a key every so often
Oof.
to make it. Because I think I had a crossbite, which is like
Ooh,
an
yeah.
overbite. So I never had braces, but I did have that. And man, when I tell you, that's one of the most painful things I've ever experienced is when your mom sticks that key up there and you tighten it. Ooh, it gives you a headache, and I'm thinking about it right now.
Yeah.
Not fun. Not
Yeah.
fun. But I never had braces.
I don't like. You never had braces? No. Man, good for you. I did.
You've just had a lot of work done on your teeth.
Yeah.
But they look good.
Hey, listen. You know,
That big smile.
I'm on TV.
You're on
so
TV.
there you go.
It's worth it.
That's
Yeah.
how, you know, like we took a scenic route to get there.
Exactly.
But it all worked.
It all works out.
Yeah.
You know?
I'm not saying I recommend that route, but you know,
If you're on TV, get your teeth done.
I guess all's well that ends. Yeah. Just break your teeth.
Break your teeth so you can get
take a hockey puck to the
pass
face.
out by the sink
Pass out by the sink.
in a gym.
And then spend like 40 hours in a dentist chair for the next like 2 weeks. It'd be great.
Good advice. Good advice.
Hit the theme expo. Yes, y'all. From the Dave Campbell's Texas Football Mothership here in beautiful Louisville, Texas, it is Texas Football Today, a show on the internet. My name's Greg Tepper. I'm the managing editor of Dave Campbell's Texas Football, a magazine, texasfootball.com, a corresponding website. Thank you for spending part of your day with us, whether you're watching us live, texasfootball.com, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, Sweater, or listen to us on the podcast, which you can subscribe to on the podcast vendor of your choice. Either way, thank you for doing your part to support your local mediocre internet show. I'm sitting over there at the helm today, making us sound good. She is the associate producer of Dave Campbell's Texas Football and Texas Live. She is the head producer of Republic of Football, our college football podcast.
Yee.
My pal, your Mal pal, everybody's Mal pal. It's Mallory Hartley. Hi, Mallory.
Hey.
Is your
how's it
mom in
going?
the comments today? Sometimes she'll drop in whenever you're
she-
producing.
Yeah, she said yesterday, "Hey, good show." So I assume she's
doesn't.
watching. But
She means that about you. She doesn't mean that
Yeah,
about
but-
me and Powers.
she really cares about who the commit of the week is, though. Let me tell you.
Yeah, she's just like, oh, I wonder who the underclassman of the week is going to be. Thanks, Rhonda.
She does watch, though.
Yeah. My mom will drop in every once in a while. too.
Yeah.
Today we're basically just doing a show for our moms. That's kind of, the whole
The mom
gist of
show.
it. Trish will pickle will show up.
Yeah,
You know what
yeah.
I mean? I think Ish's mom shows up whenever he's
I think
on the show.
I think she does too.
We're just doing our show for our moms, guys. That's all this is. Today is Thursday, June 16th, 2022. 161 days till Thanksgiving. Happy birthday to both Tupac Shakur and my brother, Matt Tepper. Happy birthday, bud.
Happy birthday.
Episode 1406. On today's show, my friends, we're going to start by telling you a little bit about our friends at Athletes. Athletes, Reed Meyer, the CEO and founder. I think he's CEO and co-founder. I think that's the official title.
Yes.
Stop by to talk a little bit about what Athletes has done. You've heard a little bit about them on the show. We're going to hear from him coming up. In the back half of the program, we're going to continue to reveal the rankings in the 2022 summer edition of Dave Campbell's Texas Football. We're going to reveal the top 10 in the preseason private school ranks.
Yes.
11-man football. The 11-man private school ranks. We will reveal the top 10 coming up here at the back half of the program if you stay tuned with us. Do we have first four through the door, Mal Pal?
We sure do. It was Tony Blaylock, Billy Hinkle, Nick Morton, and Aaron Arbuckle. Welcome in, fellas.
Welcome in, friends. Thanks for joining us. Okay, So a couple weeks ago, we had an opportunity to sit down with Reed Meyer, the CEO and co-founder of Athletes to Athletes, which is a college counseling service wherein they help college athletes choose what is best for them based on not only just on field but also off the field. Great conversation with him. Here's my conversation with Reed Meyer of Athletes to Athletes here on Texas Football Today. The recruiting landscape can be awfully hard to navigate. We hear that all the time from players and parents. One organization that's attempting to streamline that process is Athletes to Athletes, and we're here to chat with the co-founder and CEO of Athletes to Athletes at athletetoathletes.com. It's Reed Meyer. Reed, appreciate your time. Thanks for coming in.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Okay, so let's start with this. What is Athletes to Athletes, and why was this some sort of passion project for you?
Absolutely, yeah. So Athletes to Athletes is a one-on-one advising service for high school student athletes that want to go compete in college. And we help them navigate the college evaluation, college selection, and college recruitment process. And it was sort of born out of my own personal experience and the experience of college athletes that I know well, and sort of that tree that's extended from there. And really it's just this realization that, we've created this very athlete-minded search process for student athletes when it comes to college. We don't really take into consideration the academic factors, the personal, preferences, the financial needs, and all the different aspects that make up what is this kid, this student. And so we're really trying to address those issues and make sure that when our kids find their right fit, they're making that decision for the next 40 years and not just the next 4.
You mentioned your own personal experience, and that was integral. Can you go into that? Tell me a little bit about what happened with you and why that kind of sparked this organization.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'll give you the real short version.
Yeah.
So basically, I was a recruited student athlete. Spent my time going to 4 different colleges in 4 years. Started a Division I program as a scholarship athlete at Texas Tech University, and ultimately ended up getting my degree from the University of Texas as a full-time student. So I sort of went through the entire gambit of Division I scholarship athlete, walk-on junior college athlete, to burning out of my sport entirely and just becoming a full-time student. So what defined me for the first 16, 17 years of my life ended up being something that I couldn't even pursue throughout the course of my college career. And a lot of it was due to the fact that I felt like I really went through the process in the high school recruiting aspect wrong. I was very reactive, it was very athlete heavy, and I made this realization when I got to college that no matter how great sports are, they cannot make up for the other 80% of what your college experience is going to be.
Well, and I think we hear that all the time. People get an offer from, if you're a football player, let's use football as an example. Football player, you get an offer from this big football university, you go play there. That might be all you look at. It seems to me that Athletes to Athletes, what you guys are doing is trying to expand that vision and look at it more holistically. Is that a fair way to put it?
Yes, you're absolutely right. We want to make a holistic decision when it comes to the college process, and not to diminish anybody who's going to get a scholarship offer from a Power 5 Division I conference, everything down to an opportunity to play at the Division III level, NAIA, NJCAA. Who cares? We want kids to be able to succeed wherever they are. And for different kids, that means different things. And we think it's important to sort of shy away from this unilateral bar of success that Power 5 means success. And that's just not the case. For some people it does. And for some people playing at a Division II level, being able to study abroad, get a international business degree, or hey, if you want to go to Colorado School of Mines and play D3 and get a blacksmithing degree, then that's the right fit for you. And there's no one mold that everyone needs to try and fit, or one tier that everyone needs to try and reach.
So then how do you start that process? If let's just say I'm an athlete and I've got an offer from 5 or 6 different places and I'm not really sure which one is right for me. How does Athletes to Athletes start that process of getting them to where they ultimately belong?
Yeah, absolutely. So we generally start actually at the sophomore level for a lot of our kids, sophomore into early junior year. So those kids that are getting those verbal offers at that time, it's certainly a bit of a different conversation because they are sort of getting that interest at an earlier age, and we definitely help them work through that process. But for a lot of our kids, it's really understanding the foundation of what is being a college student, what is being a college athlete, what is going through the recruiting process, what is evaluating colleges holistically, sort of understanding that process as a whole, and then sort of specializing in different places of, hey, if this kid needs a little bit of help communicating with colleges, let's help them address that. Hey, if this family needs a little bit of help with understanding financial aid and outside scholarship opportunities, let's help them understand those as well. And ultimately ending up with the graduation phase where we help them process, essays, resumes, applications, scholarship applications, whatever that might be, to maximize their opportunities at the next level. And so, we really think through that holistic process, we're helping these kids really just understand how to learn how to be a college kid and learn what their passion points are to apply that when it comes to deciding where to play at the next level.
You guys are trying to streamline the process. I'm interested kind of in your experiences. What do you feel like are the biggest pitfalls for kids whenever they're going through this process? What are you on the lookout for specifically whenever you're going through this?
Absolutely. I think, one of the biggest things that we find, and it's nobody's fault, but, kids want to live up to the expectations of outside forces, whether that be parents, whether that be friends, whether that be media or whatever it might be. There's this expectation that, if I'm not going here, if I'm not getting talked to here, if I don't have a verbal offer here, then somehow I'm not succeeding or somehow I'm not reaching some level that I've arbitrarily set for myself. And we try really hard to break that mold and that understanding of, hey, that line is different for everybody. You just need to figure out what fits you and what is the right place for you to be, and let's go after those types of schools and those types of divisions and those types of institutions aggressively and unapologetically. If that's where you're going to succeed, let's go. Let's do it.
Reed Meyer, the co-founder and CEO of Athletes to Athletes, athletes2athletes.com. Reed, appreciate you stopping by and chatting with us.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me.
Thanks so much
There
for
is
watching
Reed
that
Meyer,
video. If you would like
the,
more and to be notified when they
co-founder and
come
CEO
out,
of
go ahead.
Athletes. Of course, we've been telling you about them. Go to athletes2athletes.com/DC or scan that QR code to schedule your free session to see how Athletes to Athletes can help you make the best, most holistic decision for your college choice. It is a really cool student athlete counseling service that we're proud to partner with here at Dave Campbell's Texas Football. Go to athletesathletes.com to schedule your /DC, I should say. Athletesathletes.com/DC to schedule your free info session. We are at Texas Football Today. We're here every weekday at noon on TexasFootball.com, talking football in the Lone Star State. You can follow us on Twitter at DCTF, like us on Facebook, Facebook.com/Dave Campbell's. Follow us on Instagram, Instagram.com/Dave Campbell's. And, of course, see us at TexasFootball.com, TexasFootball.com/subscribe. Go to TexasFootball.com/subscribe to get the 2022 summer edition of Dave Campbell's Texas Football mailed to you before it hits newsstands. Remember, it's going to be delayed hitting newsstands because of supply chain issues. So the only way to make sure you get the magazine as quickly as possible is to go to TexasFootball.com/subscribe. We actually have a cool thing going right now. Scan that QR code. It'll take you there. But we, I think for the first time ever, we have discounts on subscriptions. I can't remember us doing this on a subscription, but we've got 3 codes that you can use, and we are going to be tracking which of the 3 cover subjects are using the codes the most. If you are a UTSA fan, use code BIRDSUP. If you're a Texas Tech fan, use the code RECM. And if you're a South Oak Cliff fan or a Texas high school football fan, use the code THEMECCA. Put that in, the promo code there at TexasFootball.com/subscribe. You'll get 5% off of a subscription. And as we mentioned, Sunday is Father's Day.
Yeah.
Now, look, I think I speak on behalf of all dads when I say all we want for Father's Day is a subscription to Dave Campbell's Texas Football. That's it. That's the number one thing. Maybe they're too shy to say it, but I'll speak up. I will find my voice on behalf of fathers everywhere. All we want is a subscription to Dave Campbell's Texas Football. Go to TexasFootball.com/subscribe. Use the promo codes RECM, BIRDSUP, or the Mecca for 5% off, and get your dad a subscription. We've streamlined it to make it easier for give it a gift too.
Yeah.
So it used to be kind of hard, I'll be honest, but now it's not.
It's
now
very
it's like
easy.
you click this is a
click of a
gift,
button.
and you can
Yep.
get there. So TexasFootball.com/subscribe. Mel, pal, one last thing to do today, and that is to unveil the preseason Texas high school football rankings in Dave Campbell's Texas Football. The top 10 in the private school 11-man ranks. Of course, Dave Campbell's Texas Football is the official rankings provider of the Associated Press. We're going to be putting out, revealing the top 10s in each of the classifications as we go along in the next couple of weeks. We have reached the private school 11-man ranks. We, of course, have expanded rankings in the 2022 summer edition of Dave Campbell's Texas Football. If you go to TexasFootball.com/subscribe to get that. But without further ado, Mal, pal, let's unveil the top 10, starting with number 10 in the private school ranks, Austin Regents. Austin Regents, of course, was a regional finalist a year ago in the Division II ranks. We really like what this team brings back in the trenches on the offensive line and the defensive line. They're going to need some find a new quarterback. That's going to need there, but this is one of the most consistent programs in Texas high school football. We think Austin Regents has an opportunity to make some noise in the TAPS Division II rank. Austin Regents starts the year number 10 in Dave Campbell's Texas Football. Moving on to number 9. Houston St. Thomas is the number 9 team in Dave Campbell's Texas football. Last year, falling just short to Bishop Lynch in the Division I regional semifinals rather. They look like they're out for revenge, and there's plenty of reason to think that they are going to get it. This defense could be really, really impressive. The question's going to be on the offensive side. They've got some pieces to replace offensively, but this is a program there in Houston St. Thomas that we think is on the way up and could be in for an even bigger year there in the TAF's Division I ranks. They start the year number 9 in Dave Campbell's Texas football. To number 8 we go. San Antonio Cornerstone, the Warriors, the number 8 team in Dave Campbell's Texas football. The lone TCAF entry here in the top 10 of the Dave Campbell's Texas football preseason Texas high school football rankings. This is a team that, of course, has grown into a powerhouse relatively quickly down there in the San Antonio area. Combined 14-4 the last couple of seasons. This is a team that's going to be tough. We really like what they bring, toughness, especially on the defensive side. TCAF, I think, is there for the taking. I think San Antonio Cornerstone's the best team in TCAF. They look like the team to beat. San Antonio Cornerstone starts year number 8 in Dave Campbell's Texas football. Continuing to roll out the private school 11-man rankings, we roll on to number 7, which finds the Fort Worth Nolan Catholic Vikings, number 7 in Dave Campbell's Texas football. A relatively disappointing season last year for them by their standards, in the sense that they only made it to the regional semifinals and lost by 5 points to a really good Midland Christian team. Even with a new coach there at Fort Worth Nolan, we think they're going to keep on humming. 11 starters back from last year's team. I think that they're going to have to find some offensive line and find a couple of playmakers on the offensive side. But this is a team that I think has a lot of young talent. This could be the step before the leap next year, but we like what Fort Worth Nolan brings this year. Fort Worth Nolan Catholic, the number 7 team in Dave Campbell's Texas football. On to number 6 we go. Staying in the Division I ranks, that's where we find Plano Prestonwood, the number 6 team in Dave Campbell's Texas football. This team, I think, is absolutely loaded offensively and has an opportunity to make a lot of noise this year. Really excited about an exciting sophomore class that they have there at Prestonwood. The coaches think that they're going to be pretty good as well. They bring back 13 starters from last year's team that made it to the regional semifinals. We think they've got an opportunity to do even more damage this year. The Lions of Plano Prestonwood are the number 6 team in Dave Campbell's Texas football. Into the top 5, the private school 11-man rankings finds Houston Second Baptist, the number 5 team in Dave Campbell's Texas football. A team there in Division II that was a state finalist a year ago, falling short to Dallas Christian. But this team has plenty of tradition, and they've got some experience in key spots, especially offensively and defensively. Now, look, they've got to find a running back. That's going to be a challenge for them, and they're in a very difficult draw with the new Division II alignment. I think Division II did get harder, which is going to make them make it a bit of a challenge. But make no mistake, Houston Second Baptist is on the short list of contenders in TAP's Division II. They start the year number 5 in Dave Campbell's Texas football. To number 4 we go. Dallas Christian, the reigning Division II state champs, drop down to Division III and have an opportunity to make a lot of noise. They bring back a superstar quarterback that is going to be absolutely exceptional after throwing for more than 2,000 yards a year ago. They do have to find a couple of defenders to replace there, but Dallas Christian, by virtue of bringing back a grand total of 12 starters from last year's team and dropping down a division to Division III, we think the Chargers of Dallas Christian and legendary coach Mike Wheeler have an opportunity to do big things. Dallas Christian's number 4 in Dave Campbell's Texas football. Into the top 3 we go. Fort Bend Christian is the number 3 team in Dave Campbell's Texas football, a team that made it to the state semifinals a year ago and fell just short to Houston Second Baptist. They're a 1-point loss there, and we know that they are itching to get back into that mix. This is a team in Fort Bend Christian that brings back 15 starters on last year's team, and we think their defensive front has an opportunity to be straight up nasty. This is going to be a really impressive defense there for Fort Bend Christian. Like what they bring back coming off of a 9-4 season. We think that last year, that 9-4 run was just the start. Remember, back in 2018, this is a team that was 1-8. The rise has been quick, and we think that the trajectory is still strong there for Fort Bend Christian. They start the year number 3 in Dave Campbell's Texas football. Only 2 spots left, pal, in the preseason 11-man private school ranks. Who could it be? Number 2, Midland Christian is the number 2 team to start the year in Dave Campbell's Texas Football Magazine. The reigning Division I state finalist from a year ago now drops down to Division II, which is going to make things even, I think, give them a really opportunity to win a state championship this year. This is a team that's got 12 starters back from last year's squad. The work ethic and the tradition there is pretty much unparalleled. There are some questions about depth, but the pedigree there for Midland Christian is pretty much unmatched. They start the year number 2 in Dave Campbell's Texas Football and our pick to win the TAPS Division II state championship. Only one spot left. The number 1 team in the 11-man private school ranks in Dave Campbell's Texas Football. The Panthers of Dallas Parish Episcopal are the number 1 team in Dave Campbell's Texas Football. The reigning Division I state champs, we think, are the favorites to win yet another title. This is a team that's actually pretty loaded. 9 starters back on the defensive side, 5 on the offensive side. They do have to find a quarterback. They have to find a running back, rather, and their top wide receiver. This team, we think, their pedigree is going to really last them. This is a team that's won a grand total of 34 games in the last 3 seasons. We don't think this Panthers train is slowing down anytime soon. Dallas Parish Episcopal is our pick to win the TAPS Division I state championship, and they start the year number 1 in Dave Campbell's Texas Football private school 11-man rankings. So there they are, the top 10 in the 2022 Dave Campbell's Texas Football private school 11-man rankings. Number 10, Austin Regents. Number 9, Houston St. Thomas. Number 8, San Antonio Cornerstone. Number 7, Fort Worth Nolan. Number 6, Plano Prestonwood. Number 5, Houston Second Baptist. Number 4, the Chargers of Dallas Christian. Number 3, Fort Bend Christian. Number 2, Midland Christian. And rounding it all out, the number 1 team in the private school 11-man ranks, Dallas Parish Episcopal. Of course, you can find expanded rankings for all Texas high school football classifications in the 2022 summer edition of Dave Campbell's Texas Football, which you can find at texasfootball.com/subscribe. That's texasfootball.com/subscribe. There you go.
Woo.
The private school 11-man rankings. Always tough. I will say that I think there were about 18 teams, certainly 15, maybe as many as 18, that have a claim to be in the top 10. This is it's a tight-knit group, I think, this year. I think Parish Episcopal
They're always at the top
deserves
of
to be the number 1 team.
Yeah.
The defending state champs, they bring back a lot defensively.
Mm-hmm.
I know that they're a little concerned about the offensive side of things, but I think they always figure that out.
They're always
I'm
a
not worried.
powerhouse, yeah.
But then after that, number 2 through number 17, maybe.
Kind of a toss-up.
It's really tight. It's a really good group of private school teams this year, which made kind of fleshing out the private school section really fun. So we hope you'll pick up the 2022 summer edition of Dave Campbell's Texas Football. See our expanded rankings, predictions for every district, predictions for every classification, et cetera, et cetera. So there you go. Let's go over to Mallory Hartley.
Oh,
I almost did. I caught myself.
you almost did.
Let's go over to Mallory Hartley for America's second favorite segment. Final thoughts.
Yeah, I kind of have a pretty big announcement here. Next Tuesday at 2 p.m., the Republic of Football podcast is going to be live. We're putting video to it. Yeah, I'm so excited to announce this. We announced it on our episode yesterday towards the end. But yeah, we're actually going to put video to it. I've been working pretty hard these past couple weeks on an intro and outro, some graphics for you guys. So yeah, that's going to be next Tuesday at 2 p.m. Our usual time will be Wednesdays, but since we're leaving for 7-on-7 next Wednesday, we decided to push it to Tuesday at 2
Wow.
p.m. So please go tune into that.
What an announcement.
I know. I was so excited.
It's going to be great.
Yeah.
Of course, Mike Craven, Ishmael Johnson, and you breaking down all things college football across the state of Texas. It's a long time coming. The podcast has really taken off in the last year or so. And so we're really excited to be able to offer that. And I guess I can do a little bit of a tease here.
Okay.
More podcasts on the horizon.
Yep. Video shows, internet shows.
It used to be we used to have this one. This is like the what's the word I'm looking for? This is the first and this was our first and only internet show. Now we're gonna have like multiple.
I'm cheesing so big right now. We've got so many awesome things planned.
It's going to be
these
great.
next coming weeks.
Republic of Football. If you don't subscribe to Republic of Football, make sure you go do that. That's going to do it for us. Thanks for spending a little bit of your day with us. Follow us on Twitter at DCTF. Like us on Facebook, facebook.com/Dave Campbells. Follow us on Instagram, instagram.com/Dave Campbells. And, of course, see us at texasfootball.com. Thanks again to Reed Meyer of Athletes for being our guest. For Mallory Hartley, I'm Greg Tepper. Vince Young, please get your Player of the Year trophy. We'll see you tomorrow on Texas Football Today.